Welcome to Cretoni Entertainment. I'm Chris.
And I'm Bree.
And today we're painting Magna Defender from Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid by Renegade Games. You all know that. Everybody who watches these knows that.
I mean, we're painting a model.
Yeah, we're painting a model. It's Power Rangers model. It's Magna Defender. You have no idea what he's fighting for.
I'm not sure he knows what he's fighting for.
But what we did do is prime him black, and we're going to start with this corn red. There's something bogging down the computer right now.
What did you do? Chris, were you Rule 34ing something?
Maybe. I don't know.
No.
So anyway, we're starting with this corn red. Any dark red will do. The inside of Magna Defender's cape is red, so that's what we're going to operate with first.
Okay.
So do you have no idea who I'm fighting for? Is an ongoing commentary in this house whenever Magna Defender comes up.
Yes.
And the simple reason for that is because in the fighting game, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
Yep.
That's what Magna Defender says when you select him in a fight. He opens the stage and he steps in and he goes, "You have no idea what I'm fighting for." And we're like, "Yet you won't tell us."
Exactly. I have a real moment of having my own little 30 Rock moment of going, "And yet you won't tell me."
Pretty much, yeah. And what we're doing next is we're taking some Liberator Gold. Any mid to light tone gold will be good here. He has these bands of gold on his shoulder and kind of across his man girdle. So while we're doing that...
Now all I'm seeing is that he's the Adam West of Power Rangers.
Adam West. Wow, that's a thing. But at any rate, we're going to paint this around his man girdle here. And while we're doing that, we're going to remind everybody, as of the day of release of this video, which will be November 29th, 2022, we currently have 380 subscribers on YouTube before we upload this video. Once we get to 400 subscribers... somebody who comments about why they want the Psycho Silver alternate sculpt promo fig from the most recent pre-order for Heroes of the Grid, we're going to take everybody who commented about that, wanting that particular mini. We're going to put you all in some kind of hat or sock or the oven. And we're going to draw. We're going to draw one of you randomly, and we're going to give one of you that promo fig. It's going to be
a bucket.
Yeah,
we'll put everybody in a bucket.
Once we get to 400 subscribers, that's what we're going to do. So get your comments in, subscribe, make a fig account for your mom, have her subscribe. Just maybe
your dog, your cat,
your dog, and we're going to paint the horns this same silver as well. So we're just going to kind of do that, and we're going to transition deeper into Magna Defender. But Magna Defender's cool because he's one of those kind of intimidating figs.
Yeah.
And the sword, I'm doing whatever I want with, like I do. So, whatever. I don't care if it's accurate or not. I'm doing it the way I think it looks cool.
Are you going to look at, like He-Man's sword?
No, unfortunately. So, I'm taking a bright silver. Any silver would do. In this case, I'm using the Vallejo game color because I am making a very conscious effort to phase Games Workshop products out of my life completely. I've largely narrowed it down to paints and the occasional model purchase if I happen to find it at an independent store who's trying to unload it for really, really cheap.
Yeah.
But I basically cut Games Workshop models out of my life, and honestly, I'm a happier hobbyist because of it. I mean, I still have a lot of GW models that are unpainted, but I've been acquiring models that are not GW, and it's actually, it's been nice. Like, the different aesthetic.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to bash on Games Workshop. What we are here to do is line the Magna Defender. So I got a little kooky here. He's got like this whole Wonder Woman vibe on his lower chest, upper belly, right above his skirt.
Okay. I was like looking at him, going, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he's got this Wonder Woman. I'm going to grab the actual figure. This is good radio.
So I can actually see it.
So he's got this whole Wonder Woman thing going on.
Oh, he does. Look at that.
Yeah, like the stylized W sort of thing going on right underneath his little chest gem. And what you could do here is you could paint it solid silver and then wash it to create the definition.
Right.
I don't know why I was feeling a little kooky, so I painted it
individually.
Yeah.
You were feeling kooky.
I was feeling kooky. I don't know. Whatever the rhythm was going to get me, I guess.
What? I'm really proud of you for even knowing that that's a song.
Is that Pat Benatar?
I hate you, y'all. This man has one hole in his knowledge. One hole in his knowledge. And it's music. So the face I got a little sloppy with. So I put in all the effort to do the nice Wonder Woman thing. Yeah. And then on the face,
on the visor and the face, I was like, here's paint. We go back and touch it up later. That's the beautiful thing about especially a predominantly black armored miniature. Yeah. Is we can go back and touch the scrap up. Now there's a couple things you could do with the black armor here. I very strongly considered finishing his armor with a satin clear coat to kind of make it shine a little bit, but then I didn't. So that's not going to come up later in the video. You could do that if you want to.
Was it going to take effort?
No, actually, it was not going to take much effort at all. It just, I thought about it. He's got like this weird suit of armor compared to a traditional ranger. Honestly, I don't even.
Looks like something he should be in Mystic Force.
I honestly don't know if Magna Defender technically is a ranger.
Oh, that's true. Is he a ranger?
I mean, he's clearly linked to the Morphin Grid.
Yeah.
But I think his powers are based off of something different. So he's not. I don't know if he's technically a ranger. Kind of like Zeo Gold is not actually a Zeo Ranger.
Right.
It's powered by something completely different and more awesome. But anyway, silver lining on Magna Defender. And then we're going to go into this Corvus Black. And here you can go as complicated or as lazy as you want to. Anywhere where there's cloth, if you actually look at Magna Defender's model carefully, he's wearing plates over some kind of suit. You don't have a light there.
I don't have a light
I'll turn on a light. This is quality radio.
Yeah, find a light,
Where's the light switch? Are there light switches in this house?
No.
Anyway, so if you look at like the back of his legs, notice the folds on there. That's clearly that's actually like a suit.
That's a suit.
And he's got some on his arm too. And actually, we're doing a little bit of our personalization on that as well. So we're taking this Corvus Black and we're highlighting the cape and we're highlighting all of that cloth with this Corvus Black, which is like a black gray. You could also use black gray by Vallejo Model Line, and it works very, very well. Bree is currently trying to blow some things off of the model. What I had not mentioned to Bree yet is there was a priming mishap with him originally, and there are some things that got caked into the miniature. Actually, we lost.
No, he had some.
Fluff. Oh, he actually had some fluff on it.
He had some fluff on it.
But there are some things that so we have a few imperfections on the miniature. But honestly, at 3 Foot Fabulous, you cannot tell. But look at the way the black gray goes on this. You get some nice definition.
Oh yeah.
And you can go as deep with this as you want. So you could do.
And it's real subtle once it dries. Like don't pay attention to this because this looks like it's like.
Well, this has bright. This has bright lights focused in on it too.
Yeah.
So you're always going to get a saturation of color, but it's much more subtle when it fully dries. But you can go as deep with this or as complicated as you want. So you could do just what I'm doing here. I'm doing a very basic paint job. As anybody who's watched the channel knows, we just kind of do what we call the everyman paint job. It's a paint job literally anybody could do if they put a little bit of time into it. But you can go nuts with this if you want. You could mix black with your black gray and do like the first highlight that way, and then do a pure black gray, and then mix a little more gray with the black gray. And you could keep doing progressive highlights to really get some deep shading in your black if you wanted. You could also go find one of those crazy super blacks. Like the artist pigment ones that are like super intense.
Is so expensive.
It is, but if you wanted to be a complete nut, you could get one of those super blacks and do the cape like that, and then use black as a highlight for black and actually have it work. But that gets kind of pricey. And again, we're going for everyman. We want it to look cool that literally anybody could pick this up and go. And what you might be noticing is I'm jumping from part to part to part on Magna Defender. And I do this on a lot of miniatures. And I have another video upcoming next week that we're going to talk about that more. But the reason I do that, especially in areas like the cloak, which we're going back to now with this Mephiston red, which is a brighter red, when I put the paint on, I mix the paint with a little bit of water. I go for a consistency closer to milk. You almost want a milk consistency with your paint.
Don't paint it with milk, though.
And when you're painting a large area, that takes a while to dry.
Yes, it does.
So what I'll do is I'll target a couple of large areas to start a miniature, and then I'll move on. Metallics also take a long time to dry fully as well.
Yes, they do.
That's why we started this video with the dark red and the gold inside his man girdle. Because that was going to take a while to dry. So then we can step away from that and say, okay, what's an area we didn't just put paint near? We didn't do it on the silver trim, so let's do the silver trim. Then we can step away again and say, let's do the black cloak because we didn't put any paint on there a minute ago.
And make sure in between a metallic and a not metallic that you do a really good job of cleaning out your brush.
Yes.
Otherwise, that not metallic will all of a sudden have a slight metallic sheen to it. And you will be like, oh, man.
Well, even more so, ideally, if you're...
of experience.
Ideally, if you're not going to use different brushes, have 2 different cups of water. One for metallic paints and one for non-metallic paints in a perfect world. Because you really don't want that mixing in there because metallic paints actually do have flakes of metal in them. That's how they get some of the sheen. And if you're a brush licker like I am, you've eaten a lot of metal.
Just waiting for that stomach cancer
to set in. Just waiting for that stomach cancer to set. I figure by the time I get the stomach cancer, they'll have nude stomachs.
What? I'm going to get a pig stomach.
Whoa, we're doing Corvus Black again. What are we doing Corvus Black again on? Did I miss a spot?
Did you miss a spot?
What am I doing? I did.
You missed a spot.
Oh, no. I decided to do his belt.
Oh.
So his belt is actually... I don't like the color of the belt on the reference photos. I don't.
What's the color of the belt?
I think it's actually silver. It's actually silver like the trim.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't look like metal to me, so I'm not doing that.
I mean, so you would have a metal belt. Like a metal belt.
I mean, I can think of certain people that might have metal belts, but those are usually for very specific performance reasons. Yep.
Okay.
Just go to Google, type in metal belt.
No, God, dog it.
So we're pulling out the Agrax Earthshade, which is our brown wash, which I need to find a replacement brown wash soon. I just picked up some of the Army Painter black wash.
Yeah.
So Army Painter, feel free to sponsor us, or I'm going to keep making fun of you. We picked up some of the black wash. We're going to try that and see if that's any good.
I thought I was going to ask you if you had tried it yet.
We also picked up. I picked up one of their speed paints. I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to be using it on a one-page rules army that I have in mind. The Change Demons.
Oh, okay. I was like,
but anyway, so this
with the thing.
So this Agrax Earthshade is going to wash all of the gold because gold has a lot of red hidden in it.
Yes, it does.
And Agrax Earthshade, being kind of a natural muddy brown, actually has red hidden in it as well. So it actually makes for a pretty natural complement to bring out the warmth of the gold. You could use a black wash if you want, but be aware it's going to diminish the warmth of your gold. And you can kind of see here, I'm kind of moving the model around a lot. You may have seen a second ago. We're getting good definition on his man girdle there. So his man girdle is made up of alternating triangles, and so are his shoulder pauldrons. He's basically a space marine.
I mean,
so you can use the wash to cheat and give yourself some definition in those areas.
Null oil.
Null oil. So the null oil is coming out to go over the silver.
Have you figured out a replacement for that one yet?
We literally just talked about how I picked up the black wash from Army Painter.
You really think it's going to replace null oil?
We're about to find out because I need to find a replacement. I'm trying to.
It really is money in a pot.
I'm trying. No, it's talent in a bottle.
Screw it. That's the one.
I'm just doing a very thin coat of null oil over all the silver. This is where you don't want to use the Agrax Earthshade because it will tint it slightly brown.
Yes.
Now, Magna Defender, this was a painful model for the camera because that cape sticks out so far. Every time you turn the autofocus, has to work extra time.
It's like, who do you want me to look at?
So anyway, we're just kind of washing this black just to add a little more depth to the metal. It's since the metal is in such thin areas, for the most part, it's not going to make a significant difference. You're not going to see a lot doing this.
Guys, we are literally trying to record something now.
Dogs, we're live. We're live.
We're live right now.
It's a live studio audience.
And you too.
Sorry, that's my studio audience. Woo.
That's wow.
No.
Zara's in here causing fits. She fights.
So we got the Eshin Gray, which again, I'm just trying to use up my GW paints. This is actually a gray that has some brown in it instead of like a true gray. So I'm using this to highlight the belt because the belt has very well defined ridge areas.
Yes.
You just run a little paint on that. You keep the darker gray we used in the middle, and you got a cheated highlighted belt pretty easily there.
You got a stew?
So now I'm pulling out the Rhinox hide. This is the one paint I may have trouble finding a replacement for. So if you look at Magna Defender around his wrists and behind his knees, those knee plates are actually strapped on with some kind of binding. And I decided to paint that brown. And the reason I did that is because I like to add just a hint of my own flair to these models. I'm not usually a big prescribed paint scheme guy, but Ranger figs are kind of a prescribed paint scheme.
Yeah.
So this is a dark green. We're going to be painting the gem with this. He's got a couple gem locations, but I'm not a big fan of prescribed paint schemes for the most part. But obviously with Power Rangers, again, for the most part, if you paint them wrong, they look wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I was able to do it with the White Ranger Nega White that we did, which came out pretty cool. I have some ideas for the other two Green Ranger minis we have, but I had to do a traditional Green Ranger mini first.
Right.
So, same thing with Magna Defender. I'm going with traditional colors, but seeing that it was actually some kind of strap on his wrist and behind his knee pads, I said this is a chance to do something that's not actually on the dude. It's why I do power weapons the way I do. It's why I do power weapons either from memory or I just make up the colors on them. It's actually amazing how many times I've come close to the way they're supposed to look.
You're like, yeah, look at me.
But that's why I do power weapons the way I do. I want to add that little hint of individuality to what I've done. And I suggest you guys do it too. Actually, Magna Defender might look pretty cool if you did like a purple or a red gem.
Ooh.
That might look pretty neat. Or like a individuality like we did with Phantom Ranger. We did them up like a Morphonaut. I'm using something here. What am I using? I'm using I'm touching up. I'm touching up. I got my Abaddon black. This is going to be another hard color to replace because Vallejo's black has a little bit of a shine to it. I need to find a good matte black. But anywhere that we overextended on the silver, anywhere we got a little sloppy with the paintbrush, I'm just going back over with the Abaddon black. So it's going to be around the mouth, the visor, the shoulder pauldrons. That's a real thin area there, and the silver did go a little far in them. I want that tight, neat line. So we went ahead and...
I like that you knew that those had a name.
Pauldrons?
Pauldrons.
Dude, I have been playing with miniatures for far too long.
Well, I know, but it's like, that's one of those words that unless you do like crossword puzzles, you don't often...
Or you're a 20-year fantasy wargamer.
Or a 20-year fantasy wargamer.
20-year, or as the Space Marine players would call it, it's the shoulder pads. Shut up, Space Marine players. Go continue to drink bleach and eat nails. Space Marine players are the kids who used to eat sand. Okay,
that's probably glue. Yeah.
For all you Space Marine players out there, stand by that. What are you going to do? I'm not playing your 40K game anymore anyway. So anyway, we're highlighting. That was
really aggressive.
What was that? Oh, here's the fun part. Look what I got.
Oh, that's a.
It's a black paint pen, baby. Remember how I said he's got these alternating triangles? Let's draw them in for definition.
Look at you, snazzy pants.
Yeah, you like that? Black paint pen for the
win.
You
pick that up?
I don't know. It was in my bucket.
Huh.
Like, I thought I picked it up for a video. I don't think I used it for a video. I might use it on some Crisis Protocol figs where we're doing the comic book style.
Yeah. I wonder if that's why you picked it up.
No, it's not. I got that special black ink for that.
I thought you'd picked up the paint pen when you were trying something.
I don't think I did. I don't know where I got this paint pen from. It doesn't matter.
Ooh, mystery pen.
Mystery pen. Na. Going out and solving the mysteries with a dog in a van. That's my new pilot TV show.
What?
It's a pen that travels around the country and solves mysteries in a van with a dog.
Is the pen all of a sudden anthropomorphic?
Well, yeah. It's got like two big googly eyes.
Oh, I'm not okay with this pen.
He's not going to be as good as Penn Sylvester from Rick and Morty. Because what a name. What a name. Penn Sylvester. That's fantastic. Anyway, we're drawing on his man girdle here. We're having a good old time.
And see, now Stick Stickley's in my head. And
Stick Stickley. You guys remember Stick Stickley? Write to me, Stick Stickley, P.O. Box 963, New York City, New York State, 10108. Oh no, the screen went black. We broke the screen. Anyway, we're using a lighter green. I think it's actually called light green by Model Color. And we're filling in the gem. We're just kind of highlighting it a bit. Hey guys, if you guys send a postcard to Stick Stickley at the address we just jingled, I'll laugh a lot. Send us a photo of that. I'm not going to do anything because I'm pretty sure telling you to send that constitutes some kind of federal harassment. So maybe don't do it. But can you imagine?
I mean, Nickelodeon probably still owns.
Look, it's Magna Defender before basing. And if you watched our other video, here's Magna Defender after basing.
Da, 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 da.
So we're basing our models now. That's a thing we're doing. I'm not going to describe how I did it every single time. And Bree, you can see the screen. You see that this picture is here a lot longer than usual, right?
Yeah.
Because now we're going to talk about something else. Now that we've painted Magna Defender,
you're going to make me think.
Let's talk about using him in Power Rangers Age of the Grid, our one-page rules overlay. So these are the rules for Magna Defender. Link in the description to the actual rule set for Age of the Grid. But this is Magna Defender. He is part of the 6th Ranger faction. He is allowed to be used by any Ranger team. He is threat level 5 or threat value 5. Which means if you're playing a 6 Ranger size game, you're going to get your 3 regular Rangers off threat value 3, then you're going to pick a 6th Ranger to come up to a total threat value of 20. He's got a speed of 6, a quality of 3 like any Ranger, a defense of 2 for that big beefy armor, 3 wounds like any Ranger. He's got his unarmed strike. All Rangers have an unarmed strike. It's not anything anybody pays for because there are going to be some things added to the game that can prevent the use of power weapons, and we want to make sure they have an attack. He's got the Magna Blade. It's the little asterisk there denotes that it is a power weapon. You'll see that in the rules overlay. It is a melee weapon. He's got 4 attacks and a massive AP2. There's not a lot I've got in the game currently with AP2. And he's also got the Magna Blaster. It's that 6 shotgun he's carrying.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 12-inch range, 1 shot, AP1, blast 6. Meaning if he hits, up to 6 models within a certain range are going to get hit. And that's all in the one-page rules, core rules. And we gave him a special rule. You have no idea what I'm fighting for. Again, in honor of, and yet we won't tell him, in honor, again, of the Kajigger. basically every time Magna Defender attacks you with the Magna Blade and you roll a 1 to save, you're going to take an additional wound from the Magna Blade. I don't know if that's actually thematic to Magna Defender. I don't know anything about Magna Defender. I really don't. That's from a Power Rangers series we have not watched yet. Don't know what's going on. My work email went off. Not going to answer it. Thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe for more content. Blah, blah, blah. Bye.
Bye.